So most people think expensive neighborhoods just have high prices. Well, Wayzata has something different. It has no inventory, no land left to build on, and a $50 million active listing. This is Minnesota's most exclusive market. Today, I'm breaking down exactly why this city has become nearly impossible to move to, plus what buyers are actually doing to get in. So, the numbers that prove it's number one. A lot of people ask us this. Why is Wayzata really the most expensive city in Minnesota? Well, here's the thing. Hot Housing Index tracks what homes actually sell for. Price per square foot across every single zip in the state. Zip code 55391 came in at $525 per square foot. That's the highest in Minnesota. More than double what you would pay in most other Twin Cities suburbs. Let that sink in for a second. That's pretty expensive. Overall, the median listing price here right now is in the upper $1 million range and beyond. Homes are moving for around $494 per square foot. Other data shows that the median list price for new listings is closer to $2 million. Home values have climbed about 5% year over year additionally. So when someone says it's expensive out there, they mean the floor in Wayzata is $1 million, and that's expensive. Quite frankly, there's barely anything available even at that price point. But wait until you see the next price tag I will talk about. Record sales and off-market deals. Here's what most people don't realize. A lot of the biggest transactions in Wayzata never even hit the market. They're sold privately, many are cash buyers, no MLS listings, and no open houses. One home out on Lake Minnetonka is currently listed at $50 million. It's called the Lake Point Estate. We're talking nearly 29,000 square feet, including guest houses, a pool, and a boathouse. Also, 8 acres and 650 feet of the most exclusive shoreline in the entire state. The property reportedly cost more than $90 million to build. Get this, it was quietly shopped for $68 million before it ever hit the MLS. Now, it's listed at $50 million. That's the most expensive active listing in the entire state. It's also the most expensive listing ever listed in the state of Minnesota. There was also an $8.9 million sale in Wayzata last year. That one had a basketball court, an arcade room, and a pool. This was the largest residential sale in the Twin Cities since 2023. So this is a different market, right? Buyers here aren't concerned about mortgage rates. They are also not waiting for the rates to come down. Per the Minnesota Realtor 2025 annual report, luxury buyers are less rate sensitive. Their wealth is tied to the stock market. They move when they want to move. Speaking of which, a real quick reminder here, if you're planning your own move and need help, get in touch with us. Our team is passionate about helping people buy and sell in this area. So contact us. Our info is in the description right down below. And do us a huge favor. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button because that helps us get this video out to an audience just like yourself. And we'd really appreciate it. Now, back to the video. Now, before we go deeper into real estate, let's see why people like Wayzata so much. Why Wayzata wins the location advantage. Let me show you where this place is located. It's a real advantage. Wayzata is about 11 miles west of downtown Minneapolis. It's right on the north shore of Lake Minnetonka. The lake covers around 14,500 acres. It has 125 miles of shoreline spread across dozens of bays. The thing is, you can't build more lakefront. That is the whole game right there. We're not building any more lakeshore on Lake Minnetonka. What you see is what you get. So you've got this pristine lake setting, but you're also close to one of the most powerful metros in the entire country. For example, Minnesota is home to 17 Fortune 500 companies. That creates a steady stream of high-level executives. They all want premier lakefront living and to be in Wayzata. This will become even clearer when we look at the incredible amenities that are right here. Now, here's where the history adds to it. The town was originally platted in 1854. The railroad arrived in 1867. Wayzata became the original gateway to Lake Minnetonka. By the 1890s, it was already a resort destination for the regional elite. The prestige has been building for over 150 years. You can't fake something like that. That is kind of a legacy. The lifestyle and amenities. Now, let me talk to you about what it's actually like to live here. Wayzata has that walkable small town feel. Big city amenities are right outside your door though. It's a great combination. Downtown runs right along the water on Lake Street. There's boutique shops, restaurants, and parks all within a few steps of the lake. On the dining side, Gianni's Steakhouse has been here for over 25 years. It's family owned, locally sourced, and a Wine Spectator Award winner every year since 2017. They've got Cove Wayzata right on the shores of the lake. Coastal American food with a really nice atmosphere, and I can attest to that. I've been there quite a few times. Also, Six Smith for bold, modern American cuisine in a lakeside setting. There is a really good mix out here. For shopping, the Promenade of Wayzata sits right on the lake. It's a high-end mixed-use development. Anthropology, boutique retailers, and a great lawn for community events is all right here. Downtown also has luxury real estate boutiques. It's a mix of retailers that's hard to find almost in any suburb, at least in Minnesota. On the water side, the Wayzata Yacht Club is nationally recognized as one of the best sailing clubs. Wayzata Marine has 70 permanent slips, a private launch ramp, and a dock crew available 7 days a week during the boating season. If you're a boater, this is the place. There also is Bear Path Gated Country Club, a short drive away in Eden Prairie. It has a $45,000 initiation fee and $1,100 a month dues. The amenities here match the price point though. For outdoor recreation, there's the Dakota Rail Regional Trail. That's 17 paved miles right out of Wayzata. It extends another 12.5 miles into Carver County too. It also connects to the Lucy Line State Trail. So if you like biking or hiking, you've got a ton of options. Now, before we get into who's actually buying here, let's talk about the events here, because this is the part that tells you a lot about what kind of place Wayzata really is. Wayzata hosts James J. Hill Days every September, Lake Minnetonka's largest annual festival. It has been running for 51 years strong. There's live music, craft beer festival, and over 150 vendors, a parade, and much more. The event brings in over 80,000 guests across 3 days. Then there's Wayzata's Chili Open. It just held its 41st year in February of 2026. Billed as the world's largest ice golf tournament. Over 2,000 participants, 4 9-hole courses carved right into the ice on Wayzata Bay. There's live music, a chili cook-off from 10 plus local restaurants, the whole thing. Only in Minnesota, right? A play on words. So, like I mentioned, this town really has a community feel to it. That's a big part of why people who own here rarely leave. Which brings me to the next issue. Who's buying and why inventory is so tight? Here's what we're seeing in the market. There are only about 35 active single-family listings in Wayzata right now for the entire city. The real number of available homes is even smaller than what you see online. because many of the highest value transactions never even hit the MLS. Now, why is that? Well, two reasons. First, the people who buy in Wayzata don't leave. Multi-generational wealth is here. Families hold on to these properties for decades. Historically, names like the Cargill and the Dayton families have owned here. They shaped Minnesota's business community for nearly a century and even a little bit longer. When someone sells, it's usually because they're downsizing or leaving the state. It's basically saying, you can't get into Wayzata for less than $1 million and there's nothing for sale. That says it all, right? Second, there's no land left to build on. You can't create more lakefront, and I said that earlier, new construction is also close to zero because there's nowhere to put it. So when something does come up, it moves fast. Hot homes here go pending in about 40 days. Buyers are competing with all cash offers. That makes everything faster. Recent data shows that the broader Twin Cities metro has about a 2.4 month supply of inventory. That's well below the 4 to 6 months considered a balanced market. Wayzata is even tighter than that. Luxury sales across the Twin Cities rose over 22% in 2025 alone, which is a significant jump. The demand is real, the supply is not keeping up. So is there any way to get in? Now here's the section I promised you at the top of the video. The one most buyers don't think about. What most people don't realize is there's actually a few entry points. They're rare, but they exist. Condos and townhomes do come up occasionally, some in the high 800s to just over $1 million. So it's not completely out of the reach on the lower end. Fixer-uppers on smaller lots come up from time to time too. It's still going to be over $1 million, but there's real possibility to add equity if you're willing to put in the work. You can also find some lower prices on specific zip codes, usually in the mid 500s. There's also neighboring communities like Deep Haven, Orono, and Minnetonka Beach. Similar lake access, part of the same Lake Minnetonka corridor at a lower entry point. Orono's median listing is in the mid 1 millions, still significant, but below what you'd pay for in Wayzata proper. So here's what all of this means. If you're serious about getting into Wayzata, you need to be pre-approved and you need to move extremely fast. Flexibility matters. The market doesn't wait. You're competing with buyers who don't need inspections, so preparation is everything. Here's the thing. This market isn't getting any cheaper. The buyers who move early before inventory tightens further are the ones who come out ahead. If you're thinking about Wayzata or any of the lake communities, shoot us an email at team@hhgus.com today. We've been working in this market for over 24 years. We know what's available, we know what's coming, and we know how to help you compete. And we have access to a lot of those off-market properties that most agents don't. But if you're planning on buying here, there's something else you should know. Some of Minneapolis's homes are sitting on the market while others are flying off. So watch this video next to find out what the difference actually is. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video and at the next house. Do us a huge favor, by the way. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us get these videos out to audiences just like you. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you at the next house.